Well, hi there. I'm Steve, and this is Adam.
Hello.
And we are the pastors at Rejoice Church in Columbia, Missouri. And we have been for a long time. And we're trying something new. We're hoping this will be beneficial. And so we're going to propose a topic and just kind of talk about it a little bit. And just share some thoughts maybe that can help you in your life. And so today, over the last few weeks, I've been talking about in our service, talking about stewardship. And how that we all, in one way or another, especially as believers, as Christians, we belong to the Lord. Everything we have belongs to Him. And so we're going to touch on that a little bit right now.
So often whenever we think about stewardship, we immediately go to money. And money is certainly part of that, but really all that we have, right? So whenever we start talking about the stuff that we have, the relationships that we have, even the days
I think that's one we forget is relationships. We're money, time, talent, we get that stuff.
Sure.
But I think we forget the relationships, that we are accountable to the Lord for the way we treat people. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry to interrupt there.
No, that's why we have a conversation. And so whenever we have that issue of how do I use my relationships to honor God, that's something that can be a little bit difficult. We often think about that in terms of I need to be nice, I need to be kind, I need to be loving, and none of that stuff is inherently wrong, right? But the idea there is if I'm just nice to you, right? We're friends, right? We spend a lot of time together, and we do, right? But if I'm just nice, if I don't ever challenge, right? If I only agree, I never disagree, then neither one of us really grow. And part of the reason that God brings us together is to be able to exhort each other, to be able to help each other grow.
Well, I think even there, being able to have a relationship where we can talk to each other and talk about issues where we may disagree, but still finish that talk, still friends,
Absolutely.
Still loving each other. And I think that's a part of that stewardship is that, yes, I need to be honest with you and I need to tell you what, but there's a way to do that so that even if we disagree, we still are close and our relationship honors the Lord.
Well, and with our, we talk about a budget for our money, but a budget for our time almost, right? The Bible says that we should count our days, right? We should number our days.
Yeah.
The idea that we have an expiration date. And one of these days, it's going to be time, right? This life is going to be done. Either Jesus is going to come back or we're going to die.
Well, think about that. And I mentioned this in a sermon a couple of weeks ago. One day God's going to audit us. Mm-hmm. That's what, basically, we're talking about money and things, but not just our money. He's going to do an audit of our time, of how we used our abilities or the gifts that He gave us, our relationships. The Bible talks very honestly and openly about the fact that we are accountable to Him, and one day we're going to give an account to Him for what we've done with that. And so that sounds like an audit to me.
Right.
And so, we need to understand that it's not just a free-for-all here. Mm-hmm. We are accountable to the Lord for the way we live in whatever area of our lives we're talking about.
So whenever we talk about stewardship, it's not just about money, it's not just about talents, it's not just about stuff. Right? It's also about relationships, and it's about the days that we have. And the idea there is, it's not just checking a box, right? I don't do these things to impress God. I don't do these things so that I get enough marks on the good side to counterbalance the ones that are on the bad side. Yeah. If I really believe that Jesus is who He said He is, then I do this out of love and out of gratitude. Right? It becomes not so much an obedience issue as it does a privilege to be called by His name.
But I do think it is an obedience issue, because we have been given certain resources. Mm-hmm. And you go back to the parable of the talents. And the master does call his servants into account for what they did. There is an obedience. Yes, it should be, the motivation should be love.
Right.
But we should never forget that we are accountable as well. And so I think there has to be those two aspects.
There's a balance between those two things. And
Yeah.
so sometimes whenever we talk about stewardship, again, people immediately jump to, oh, this is a money sermon.
Yeah.
And the reality is this is about achieving the right balance in all aspects of our life,
Right.
so that what we do is not only pleasing to God, but it also honors Him.
Yeah,
Because we're really His spokesman,
yeah.
His spokesman.
And I think that's a good way to wrap it up. The most important principle we can remember in stewardship is that our whole lives belong to Him. And I am responsible in my life for every aspect of my life. The Bible even says I'll give an account for the words that I speak. So there is not an area of my life that God doesn't care about. And so as you live your life, as I live my life, we need to understand that we belong to Him and we are answerable to Him. And I think ultimately that's what stewardship's about.
Thank you for your time.